Hello students, welcome to the first video of class 7. In this video we are going to study chapter 1 nutrition in plants. So let us start. First of all, let us see the topics that are to be covered in this video. So first of all we'll see the meaning of nutrition, then we'll see the different modes of nutrition, and then we will see autotrophic nutrition in detail. So let us start with the meaning of nutrition. So students, nutrition is the process by which organisms obtain and use the nutrients that are required for maintaining life. So, why do we take different types of food? What is the need of taking food? What does food contain that we take food? So, the food that we take contains important components. These components are necessary for the proper functioning of our body, and these components are only known as nutrients. So, let us now see some of the nutrients that are present in the food that we eat. So, some of the nutrients that are present in the food that we eat are carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins and minerals, fats. Now, what does nutrition include then? So, nutrition includes the uptake of nutrients and then the utilization of these nutrients in our body for growth, for energy production and also for building our body. So, this is the entire process of nutrition. So, what happens in nutrition? Nutrition includes the uptake of nutrients in our body and then the utilization of nutrients for the proper functioning of our body, that is for the growth, for energy production and also for building our body. So let us now define nutrition. Nutrition is the process of taking in food and then utilizing the nutrients present in the food for the proper functioning of our body. Now let us proceed to the different modes of nutrition. So students, basically there are two modes of nutrition. First one is autotrophic mode of nutrition and second one is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So let us see these two one by one. So students, first of all, let us talk about the meaning of the word autotrophs and heterotrophs. So autotrophs means, auto means self and trophos means feeding. Hetero on the other hand means other, and troph again or trophos again means nutrition or feeding. So what happens in autotrophic mode of nutrition is that the simple inorganic substances that are found in the nature are utilized in order to produce food, whereas in heterotrophic mode of nutrition, the substances that has already been prepared by autotrophs or heterotrophs are consumed. That is, heterotrophs, they depend on other organisms for obtaining nutrients or for the purpose of nutrition. So here you can see that sun is the ultimate source of energy on the earth. Only autotrophs are able to use this source of energy, that is solar energy can be derived, solar energy can be used only by autotrophs, and so autotrophs are able to synthesize own organic molecules, whereas on the other hand the heterotrophs are unable to synthesize own organic molecules, so they depend on autotrophs for obtaining organic molecules, and these organic molecules only include the different types of nutrients that we take in the form of food. Moving on, let us now describe autotrophic nutrition in detail. We have already seen that in autotrophic mode of nutrition, the organisms are able to synthesize their own food by using solar energy. Such organisms are also known as producers. They are also known as autotrophs. Why are they known as producers? Because they are able to produce their own food, so they are also known as producers. The process by which plants are able to synthesize their food is known as photosynthesis. So students, now we are going to study about photosynthesis in detail. So first of all, photosynthesis is the food making process of the plants. What happens in photosynthesis? So in photosynthesis, what happens is that the light energy that is obtained from sun or the solar energy is converted to chemical energy. Let us now understand the meaning of the word photosynthesis. So again, this word photosynthesis has been derived from Greek word. So photo means light, whereas synthesis means putting something together or combining together. So photosynthesis is just means of putting together with light. That is, light will be used here to combine few things to produce an organic molecule. So let us proceed now. So photosynthesis is the process by which plants produce their own food by using what? Water, carbon dioxide. So water and carbon dioxide will be used during this process, and what else is required? This process will take place in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Next, what are the main requirements of photosynthesis? As we have seen what photosynthesis is, so we can easily tell what are the main requirements of photosynthesis. So first of all, we need carbon dioxide, then water is required, chlorophyll, and also sunlight is required for photosynthesis to take place successfully. Now, where does photosynthesis occur? In plants, which is that particular part in which photosynthesis can take place. So students, photosynthesis can take place in leaves. Now, what does leaf contain? That photosynthesis can take place exclusively in leaves. So photosynthesis can take place in leaves because these leaves contain chloroplast. The chloroplasts are present in plant cells, and chloroplasts contain a green pigment, that is chlorophyll, and chlorophyll helps in the absorption of the energy from sunlight, and this solar energy is only then used to combine carbon dioxide and water to produce food for plants. So this is where photosynthesis takes place. That is, photosynthesis will take place in the leaves only, and hence the leaves are known as the food factories of the plant or the kitchen of the plants. Moving on. Now let us see how other requirements of the plants reach the leaves. So the first requirement that we will be seeing is the water. So water, of course, is present in the soil, and photosynthesis takes place here in the leaves. So now what has to happen? The water that is present in the soil has to reach the leaves. So let us now see how this will take place. So first of all, water is one of the raw materials that is needed for plants to carry out photosynthesis. So how will water first be absorbed? Water will be taken by roots from the soil. So water will be absorbed by the roots from the soil. Next, what will happen? This water now has to reach the leaves. How will the water absorbed by the roots reach the leaves now? So this happens by the help of vascular tissues or vascular bundles which run throughout the plants. Let us talk about these vascular bundles. So two types of vascular tissues are there. One is xylem and the other one is phloem. Xylem helps in the transport of water and minerals up the stem from the roots to the shoots and leaves, and this transport occurs in only one direction, whereas phloem helps in the transport of sugars, that is food produced in the leaves, up and down the stem to the growing and storage tissues. So here you can see that first of all the water and minerals will be absorbed by the roots, and with the help of the xylem, that is the vascular tissues, it will be transported to the leaves. So one of the requirement of photosynthesis, one of the raw material of photosynthesis finally has reached the leaf. Now next, we also require carbon dioxide. So how will now leaf obtain, or how will now the plant obtain this carbon dioxide? So carbon dioxide is again obtained by the leaves with the help of small pores which are known as stomata. These pores are present in more number on the underside of the leaves, and these pores only help in obtaining carbon dioxide that is present in the air or in the atmosphere by the leaves. Next, so let us see now what has happened. All the requirement, all the raw materials of the photosynthesis has reached the leaves. We have obtained water, water has reached the leaf. Sunlight also has been trapped by the chlorophyll. We have also obtained carbon dioxide with the help of stomata. So now photosynthesis should take place. So what will happen during this process of photosynthesis? So during the process of photosynthesis, the carbon dioxide and water that has been taken in by the plants in the leaves will be combined with the help of the solar energy to produce sugar. Apart from sugar or glucose, oxygen and water molecules are also produced during the process of photosynthesis. This oxygen is then released into the atmosphere, or it is released into the air. The excess of water that is produced can also be released by the plants by the process of transpiration. So students, this is all about photosynthesis. Now we have already seen the products of the photosynthesis. So the first product of photosynthesis is glucose, and this glucose is sometimes used by the plant, by some cells of the plant, and some of the glucose is converted to starch and is then stored in the plant. This is the stored food. Starch is the stored food in the plant. Oxygen is the waste product. This gas is transported out of the leaf into the air so that the other organisms can utilize this oxygen for the purpose of respiration to produce energy. Now let us summarize this photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is nothing but it is a chemical reaction that takes place. So students, photosynthesis is nothing but a chemical reaction that takes place in the chloroplast in green plant cells, where light energy is used to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose and oxygen. Photosynthesis is a chemical reaction. When I am saying it is a chemical reaction, of course we can convert it into word equation. So let us see the word equation for photosynthesis. So you can see here, first of all, carbon dioxide combines with water in the presence of light energy and chlorophyll to form glucose and oxygen. The formula, chemical formula for carbon dioxide is CO2. The chemical formula for water is H2O. Then glucose, the chemical formula for glucose, the product, is C6H12O6, and the chemical formula for oxygen, of course, is O2. So this is the chemical formula for photosynthesis, for the process of photosynthesis. So students, this is all for this video. I suppose you have understood the concept of photosynthesis. You have understood how plants are able to make their own food, why plants are able to make their own food. So thank you so much, students.